Hey guys, and welcome to today's Declutter and Clean with me. Today's video is sponsored by Woodoku, and we will talk more about that later. But if you've clicked on today's video, you likely need some motivation to get your house under control, whether that be giving it a good clean or throwing everything away for a big declutter. We've got a little bit of both in today's video, and I hope you're excited. This was one of those days for me where I just woke up and I felt like being productive. I felt like there was just too much stuff. It was all over the place. It was driving me crazy. My house was a mess and I really just wanted to get it under control. And I actually don't normally film with both of my kids around, but my oldest son was home from school sick this day. And then obviously I always have the baby with me. It's definitely more challenging to get things done with both my kids home, but I still got so much done and I'm super proud of myself. So anyway, first thing I did was, of course, make my bed. I always like to do that first thing in the morning. And then we were moving on to the dishes because I had left them overnight from dinner and I really wanted to get my sink cleaned out. I'll sing until my lungs give out, you're beautiful. Like I said before, my oldest son was home from school sick on this day. He came home from school with a fever the day before. And whenever my kids are sick, especially when they have fevers, I don't know why, it just gives me so much anxiety. I worry constantly about them. And so that's why the dishes didn't get done the day before. That's why my house was a mess, because my anxiety was crazy with my son being sick. But his fever had actually gone away overnight. It was like a super fast thing. He was feeling so much better on this day, but he was obviously home from school. And since I didn't have that anxiety anymore, it was time for me to get my house cleaned up. I would love to know what is on your cleaning to-do list today while you're watching this video. When I was filming, I was just trying to do whatever needed to be done. I didn't really go into it with a plan. I was just kind of looking at the room and deciding what needed to be cleaned. Once again, our recycling was completely full, so I just wanted to get this out of my house and into the recycling bin outside. I don't normally dry my dishes with a paper towel, but all of my kitchen towels were actually in the wash, so that's why I'm doing that, if you're wondering. I had some dishes that I needed to hand wash. This sippy cup of my son's can actually go into the dishwasher, but I find that the straw doesn't really get clean when I do it that way, so I prefer to hand wash it to make sure that the straw gets like really rinsed out, and then if I need to, I'll use the straw cleaning brush as well. I've been holding on, I wouldn't let you go, 'cause every time I try you find a loophole. I've been slamming the door and just leave you cold. When I come back, you've heated up the South Pole. You see my body for the escape, while my heart wants to stay. I run away, hit the road, ain't almost lane, but I keep turning back just like... I have been using this sink cleaner going on like 4 years now, and it's still my all-time favorite. If you watch my channel, I've talked about it a million times, so I'm not going to go on and on about it, but if you haven't tried it yet, you really should. It smells great. It works so well. And I feel like my sink is just so clean after I use it. And it's the Mrs. Meyer's baking soda cream cleaner. My dishwasher was completely full because I did not run it the day before, so I needed to get that going so that we would have some clean dishes. It's the worst when you start running out of silverware. Okay, so I'm obviously trying to film right now, but I keep getting incredibly distracted. I want to do my daily challenge for Woodoku, and I figured this was the perfect time to introduce you guys to Woodoku. You know that I love to share new fun games when I find them, and I've recently started playing Woodoku. It's kind of like a wood block puzzle game meets a Sudoku grid type of game, if that makes sense, and it's quickly become one of my new favorites. This game is entirely free to download and play. I personally would so much rather play a game at the end of the day than scroll like the gloom and doom of social media. So I typically play this once the kids have gone to bed, and I find it relaxing and better for me and my brain than maybe some of the other things I could be doing on my phone, like again, scrolling social media. This game offers hundreds of challenging levels. It's perfect for some brain training, keeping you sharp. Players need to arrange the wooden blocks to form a line, which clears the tiles from the board and earns points. It sounds simple enough, but it is harder than it looks. I haven't been able to hit 1,000 points yet, and I love the challenge of trying to beat my own high score. There are 3 different modes to experience and explore during gameplay, and again, it's free to download and play on both iOS and Android devices. I will have a link in my description box down below for you to download Woodoku. Be sure to use that link, as the support really helps my channel, and I just want to say thank you to Woodoku for sponsoring this week's video. Now I'm just setting out some of my fall decor. I'm just trying to keep it simple this year. I'll show you guys a little clip right here of what I was putting out. I think it looks really nice for the fall season. It'll probably stay there until the spring. And now I'm wiping down my countertops with my Method all-purpose spray in the grapefruit scent. This is one of my favorite all-purpose cleaners. Say you love me. Now that the school year is in full swing again, I am back to having constant paper clutter on my countertops. My son brings home so many pieces of paper every single day, and I just honestly never know what to do with them. I really do need to create some sort of filing system for all of this stuff, and maybe sort it by grade and put all of his best work or best artwork and stuff in there. I just have not gotten around to doing that yet, but hopefully soon. 'Cause I can't stand another moment of you playing with my mind. Paper clutter is one of those things I have not figured out yet. I feel like I have a couple of systems going, like I have a filing cabinet and I use that for bills and important papers and things like that. But then again, I haven't done anything yet for my son's schoolwork and stuff, so that gets really backed up. And then there's just other random papers that I just never know what to do with. But again, it's just one of those things I haven't quite figured out yet, but if I ever find a good system, I will of course share it with you guys. But for now, my best advice is to just try and stay on top of it as best as you can. But I definitely know how much of a struggle it can be. I am definitely not in my clutter-free surfaces era right now. I feel like if you guys watched my channel from the beginning when I lived in my old house, I never had anything on the countertops and I loved it, and I still love that, but I just feel like it's not realistic for this phase of life that we're in. So my countertops are always going to have stuff on them, and I have come to accept that. One thing that I really needed to do that I kept putting off doing was refilling my salt shaker. And I don't know why I put this off so much. I find it to just be kind of a hassle to have to do it, but every time I've gone to cook recently and I've needed salt, I've been so irritated with myself that I haven't refilled this. So I'm glad that I just finally did that. It took me like 2 minutes. I don't know why I put off the simplest tasks. I have been having to rock Sutton to sleep lately for his naps, because if I don't, he gets really crazy, and actually I think his monitor is gonna die. I've been having nothing but issues with this monitor. It's like an infant optics. I think it's like the deluxe or something, or like the newer, bigger version of this monitor. I used to have the same one with Carson, but I have had to have the monitor replaced 3 times. Like this, it just had to be replaced 3 times, not like the camera. I think the camera's been replaced once. So yeah, and he is going to be 2 in January, so it should not be breaking down so much. But anyway, off topic, I've been having to rock him to sleep because if I don't, he gets really silly and he will just like run around in his crib and go crazy and wake himself up even more. So I got him to sleep and now I'm gonna pick up the living room. I think I'm planning to do some decluttering today. So I'm probably going to do a little bit of decluttering in here, but definitely in the bathroom. The bathroom needs a good declutter. I've been doing this since Carson was a little toddler, but I try to reset the living room whenever my kids would go down for their naps. So while Sutton was asleep, I'm picking up everything in the living room, but I also really wanted to vacuum out my couches. So I wanted to get everything out of the way so that I was able to do that without any obstacles.
Into water when they hit the ground. I hear the sound of empty streets. Yesterday has gone to sleep.
I was honestly expecting it to be worse underneath all my couch cushions. There was mostly just a bunch of cars, and then there were obviously some crumbs like right between where the cushions would fall. But overall, wasn't too bad, so I'm just gonna get everything off of the couch and then I'll go ahead and vacuum it.
Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. Let our minds be caught up in
I really like using this vacuum in particular when it comes to doing vacuuming jobs like this. I do have a cordless vacuum and that could also work for this, but for whatever reason I just like to pull out the big one. But I'm happy to report that my cordless vacuum is fixed. If you guys watched my most recent video, I was telling you that it was broken and I wasn't exactly sure what was wrong with it. But I did figure it out and it was my mistake. I did not read the directions when I was cleaning that vacuum and I wet the filter with cold water. I've cleaned so many vacuums in my day and pretty much all of them have said to rinse the filter with cold water and then leave it to dry for 24 hours, put it back together and it should work like new. But the vacuum that I have in particular, you are not supposed to wet the filter. So when I wet the filter, it just pretty much destroyed it. So unfortunately, I had to order a new filter, but now the vacuum is working again, and I guess that's all that matters. But it was a $45 mistake on my part, so that really stunk.
There's no one left but you and me. It's like
I had a reel on Instagram go viral. It has like over 4 million views and it was for this wall that I did. It's like a DIY command center wall and a lot of people were upset that I didn't paint the vent black. So I'm just showing you guys something else I had to do on this day, which was paint this vent black because I could not take the comments anymore. So anyway, just showing you guys that I did that, and then I am going to clean my bathroom and declutter my bathroom. It was absolutely disgusting. I threw this rug into the wash, then I walked around the bathroom, just picked up things that were on the floor, put them back where they belong, or threw them in the trash. And then I swept up because my hair was everywhere. I am like shedding like crazy. I thought that I would be done losing hair by now because I was experiencing postpartum hair loss and Sutton is 1.5. So I just thought I'd be done with it by now, but I'm definitely not. So I had to sweep and now I'm going to clean off the bathroom vanity. I'm laying down to compile it. Oh no, I think the thing that we struggle with the most in this house is how small our bathroom is. It's just so tiny and it has absolutely no ventilation. We struggle with like mold in this bathroom, particularly up near the vent fan. I feel like I clean it constantly, but it's still always gross in here, and there's just really nothing we can do to improve the situation other than expanding the bathroom or adding an additional bathroom, but unfortunately that's just not in the budget right now. So hopefully someday we can fix this, whether that means we move and we have more bathrooms or that means that we end up putting on an addition at some point. But you guys know that interest rates are so horrible, so trying to take out a loan right now would be a huge mistake. So just not something we can do at the moment. So I try to make the best of it, but it's definitely tricky to share a bathroom among all of us, and especially one that is just so small. I don't wanna seem to shaky. Oh no, like I'm sudden but I'm steady. Oh no, and they tell me to move on 'cause I deserve more, but still I Now to begin the decluttering in here, so the first thing that I'm doing is going through this cabinet that's above the toilet and just taking out anything that I have not used in a while or I can't see myself using anytime soon. Now I'm going through my medicine cabinet. I absolutely love this medicine cabinet. To me, it's like the best part of this bathroom. I feel like I can never go back after having one of these. It's just so nice because it's additional storage, but it's pushed back into the wall, so it's not taking up any space in the bathroom. So anyway, absolutely love it, but it was definitely just a little bit too full, so I'm going through it and taking out anything that's expired or anything that's empty that I just so happen to have put back in here, or anything that I can't see myself using in the future. Now we're doing the same thing with my makeup. I recently started using Merit Beauty. I had been kind of collecting items from Merit for a couple of months, and then I actually worked with Merit for a sponsored video a couple of weeks ago. And now I don't feel like I need all of this. I've been loving my Merit makeup so much. I use it every single day. A lot of these things are way past their shelf life. I've had them for a really long time, or they're close to being empty, or they just aren't working the way that I want them to be. So I got rid of a ton of makeup out of this organizer. This is everything that I'm decluttering between my medicine cabinet and my makeup. All of this is stuff that's either empty or it's way, way, way past its expiration date or shelf life. Again, I'm just so happy with my Merit makeup that now I feel like I don't need all of this, and it was just kind of dead weight and taking up space, so I'm really happy that I was able to declutter so much. Before I put everything back into this organizer, I wanted to quickly wipe it down. I had a lip oil in there that had kind of leaked out into everything, so I just wanted it to be nice and clean before I put anything back. This is what I was left with. It's a much more reasonable amount of makeup, and again, I've really been into my Merit Beauty stuff, so will I reach for this soon? I don't know, and if I don't, maybe I'll end up decluttering those things as well. But now I'm going to clean off this cabinet that was above the toilet because it was very dusty.
You were the guy with your friends at the doorway, pretending that you had the time of your life. Had we met before? Instant chemistry. Was so glad you came. Had we met before? Laughing instantly, but it didn't feel like thunder.
We used damp red to try and help with the moisture in this bathroom, and ours was gone. There's like a disc that you put inside of it, and it had completely melted away, and there was tons of water in here, so I had to empty it out and just rinse it and then put in a new disc so that it would continue to help draw out some of the moisture, because again, like I said, we struggle with things like mold in this bathroom and poor ventilation, so this does help a little bit. This fake plant was super dusty, so I just wanted to clean it off because it was looking really rough, and I feel like a fake plant can go one of two ways. Either it looks fake or it looks pretty real, and when it's covered in dust, it definitely looks very fake. So I had to do that, and now I'm just going to quickly use my Swiffer wet jet to mop the floors. Carson and I went to Hobby Lobby recently. It was actually only like the second time I've ever been there, and I found a new wax scent, and it's called Warm Cookies, and it just smells amazing. So I wanted to clean out my Scentsy warmer and add a new wax melt. Another thing I had to do was replace all of our tissues. We have been struggling with illness, so we went through like 3 boxes of tissues recently, so I had to replace those in this cabinet. And now we're moving on to laundry. I had done 2 loads of my own laundry. I had done a load of bathroom stuff like that bathroom rug and other bathroom items. I had done a load of kitchen towels. I think I did all of Carson's zipper bedding. So I had done so much laundry on this day, but I wanted to make sure that all of my clothes were folded and put away. And I knew that I had to do a little bit more decluttering in my drawers. So I figured that I would fold all of this and then go through all of my drawers after. I have been on kind of a fitness journey / weight loss journey. I've really struggled to lose the weight since having our second baby, and I've been doing so well. I've talked about it in my last few videos, but as of the day that I am recording these voiceovers, I'm down 10.5 pounds, and I'm so proud of myself. But anyway, with that comes kind of like the spark to maybe buy myself some new things. Now that I'm starting to fit into some of my older clothes, I'm seeing that a lot of it is just really worn out and it's just time to get rid of it. Some of it's stretched because I was still trying to wear it even though it really didn't fit me. So I've been really wanting to declutter my wardrobe, and once I get to my goal weight, I'm honestly not even sure what that is at this point, but once I feel comfortable in my body, I really want to go out and buy myself some new clothes that fits well and is good quality and will last me a long time. So anyway, that is kind of what inspired me to want to do some more decluttering in my wardrobe. If you are wondering about that Amazon package that was in my drawer, that is a Christmas gift that I had to hide. But anyway, as I'm putting things away in my drawers, I was just kind of grabbing things at a glance that I knew I wasn't going to wear anymore or that I knew were completely worn down and it was just time to let go of, and I was throwing those into a laundry basket. And actually the laundry basket was full of clothes that I had picked like the week before that I wanted to declutter as well. So if you watched my last video, I think it was maybe the last video that I posted, then you may have seen me already start this process, but I wanted to keep it going today. I went to hang up some things in my closet and realized that I did not have any more hangers available. So in the spirit of decluttering, I figured I'd just take some things out of here as well. So I was making space for the things that I actually wanted to hang and getting rid of anything that I don't see myself wearing or no longer fits.
Kind of melody. You rattled my cage without warning, kept it up right till the morning. A new kind of ecstasy. You found a different side of me, the one I'd like to be, a different side of me, yeah. You found a different side of me, like someone pretty neat, a different side of me, yeah.
And this is all of the clothing that I was able to declutter. It felt so good to get this out of my wardrobe. Again, I want to say thank you to Woodoku for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to check the link in my description box and download the game. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and it gave you tons of motivation. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new. Turn your notification bells on so you don't miss any of my future uploads, and I hope you'll come back again next week for another video.
It's how you make me feel. Yeah. Let's call it sick and be lazy. I'm all for doing what's crazy, 'cause you make it real, yeah.